everybody, this is Payal. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So here's my first vlog from this series Straight from the Belly. I've been wanting to do vlogs for quite some time now because I've been feeling the need for myself to share a lot about my daily life, my routine. Today I'm going to talk about the first trimester of my pregnancy, which actually began in July last year. There was one day when I was doing yoga in the morning and I kind of felt really weak and really uneasy, and I thought I was just draining myself out doing excessive yoga. I kind of like crashed on the bed, and then I didn't realize that something's wrong with me. I just thought I was having low BP issues and stuff like that. But then it dawned upon me after I spoke to my mom that it could be, I could be pregnant, and then I went up and took pregnancy tests, and then it got confirmed. So it was a great experience. Everybody was so happy in our house. I was in Bangalore, and my husband was back in Mumbai. So we were absolutely happy. We were thrilled. We were overjoyed. And then after that, the first trimester that I experienced was not a very good one because I had almost every symptom in the pregnancy book. I had sciatica, I had constipation, I had bloating and nausea and frequent urination. I mean, anything, every pregnancy symptom that you can think of. I mean, I was only lucky with not having vomiting as one of the symptoms, because I've heard really bad stories of women who have excessive vomiting during their first trimester, but I was lucky enough not to have that. But the only thing that kept me sane throughout the first trimester is dancing throughout. There were a lot of people against it. The moment my mom found out, she was like, no, you got to stop dancing, and you have to stop taking the rickshaw and stop taking your two-wheeler. You gotta take care of yourself a lot. But I was against all of that. Even my doctor mentioned not to dance, but then obviously he doesn't know the kind of dance that I do, so he was always against it. But I was persistent. I decided that I will continue to dance and control myself, and because this is something that I was doing for 10 years of my life, and I don't think I would do anything to harm myself. And I did take the advice and suggestion of my belly dance teachers who've been through pregnancy and dealt with it themselves. So they also mentioned that it's completely safe to be doing it because it's not a new activity that my body is getting introduced to. It's completely safe to be doing something that you've been doing over time. So that's what I did. I danced throughout my pregnancy. I traveled, I shuffled between Mumbai and Bangalore all the time. And basically dancing is what kept me, sane from all of the pregnancy symptoms that I had, because I was in a lot of pain sometimes. I didn't feel like eating a lot of times. I was draining myself out. I was most of the time, I had aversions to food, a lot of food aversions, and I had food cravings, and I was driving everybody crazy about the kind of food that I wanted to eat. So that was an issue. So basically I was dealing with a lot of trouble, in my first trimester, and I'm lucky that I was able to dance. I didn't tell my doctor that I'm going to be dancing throughout and traveling, because they usually advise against it. So I wasn't even doing yoga because it's not advised to do it. But I did continue to do meditation and pranayam, because at least that would also calm me down and give me a little bit of strength to deal with all the symptoms and stuff like that. So all in all, the first trimester was not so great, but looking back at it now, I can say that I really enjoyed it, because I was throwing my weight around. I was telling everybody, this is what I want to eat, this is what you need to cook for me and things like that, and everybody would be occupied in giving me what I want to eat, because it was important for me to eat. And with all the aversions and silly food cravings that I had, it was difficult for my body to accept any kind of food. And that's why I even lost a couple of kilos in my first trimester, which is also apparently normal. And I even didn't tell any of my students or anybody related to my dance field about my pregnancy. I just looked like a normal person going to dance and teach throughout my first trimester. I even have a video where I am actually dancing in my first trimester. I will share the link in the description box below. You guys can see that I'm towards the end of my first trimester, and I'm dancing just as usual, but I know myself, how much energy I was putting. I was controlling myself. My shimmies were not as strong enough. My dancing was a little less, energetic. So yeah, basically that's how it was. One advice that I would like to give y'all is that when you get pregnant, do not stop doing any physical activity. Even though you're drained out, even though you may be really tired, even though the nausea will get to you, try and continue to practice any kind of physical activity, especially something that you've been doing even before pregnancy. But don't introduce any new activity. Like, don't suddenly start going to the gym, start getting all physically, active, and try and get health conscious all of a sudden. So that's what I did. Because I've been belly dancing for a decade, it was completely okay for me to continue belly dancing, because I know my body, I trust my body. Something that I learned from this pregnancy is that I really learned how to take care of myself, because over the decade, I admit that I ignored my body a lot. I wasn't disciplined enough. I didn't have like a proper routine, a diet or anything like that. But then I really was forced to take care of myself during this pregnancy. So it all worked out for good, and now I'm able to maintain that routine. So yeah, please continue to understand your body and know your body, and don't make it go through any kind of a stressful exercise or an activity. So a lot of belly dancers actually reached out to me on social media when I was pregnant. When I announced about my pregnancy, they were surprised as to how I was belly dancing throughout, and they came up to me with a lot of questions as to how I'm doing it, how I'm maintaining it, what I'm eating and things that I'm doing. So if you guys have any more questions about stuff to do when you're pregnant, or anything you want to know about the stuff that I did through my pregnancy, feel free to reach out to me. And if you want to know anything else about my life, I'm going to be talking a lot more in detail in the vlogs, future vlogs. Please write your comment, please mention it in the comment below. I will talk about it, and I will share a lot more stuff about my life. In the next vlog, I'm going to be talking about my second trimester and the third trimester, and then we'll get on to the entire birth story segment. So stay tuned and keep watching Straight from the Belly.